right, welcome in, everybody. We're in a casual seated position today for the Coaches Show here at Collinsville, keeping up with Collinsville Athletics with Ernie Willingham. And, Coach, last week you guys took on Valley Head, and over the last couple of years you guys have had some really good wars against them, had some success against them. Last Friday was no different. You guys got out of there with a double-digit victory. But take us back to last Friday with that Valley Head game.
Valley Head played pretty good. It was 14-14 at the end of the first quarter. So they matched us pretty good. But, well, they run a kickoff back, and they've got a McGrath kid that's really, really fast, and we wasn't going to kick it to him. And I love my kicker, but he kicked it straight to him. Kicked it straight to him, and he ran it back about 85 yards. So, and then they had one good drive, and then our defense really stepped up then, and our offense was clicking pretty much the whole night. We scored every time we got the ball.
Yeah, which is what you want to do heading into these playoffs. You guys have been clicking pretty good at a pretty good clip on offense. What is it you think about this offense? I know these guys have been around each other. They grew up, they're like brothers, but they've been in the system their whole lives too. Talk about that and how that's kind of all coming to fruition here heading into these playoffs.
Yeah, our skill guys have been starting for a lot of them for 3 years now, but our line has really stepped up. I've only got one offensive lineman that started at the first of the year, Bronner Jones, and we got young guys that have come on. We knew they were going to come on, but they've come on a lot faster. If you go across my line from left to right, I got a 9th grader, a 9th grader, a 10th grader, an 8th grader, and a 10th grader.
Wow.
And the 10th grade center, the one in the middle, is the only one that we thought was going to start. He's Bronner Jones, and he got that Gridiron Player of the Week last week. He's a really good offensive lineman, defensive lineman too. But those other guys have stepped up their game, and that's made it a lot easier for the skill guys to run around and give Mason enough time to throw it. He's got if he can stand back there, if he can stand back there for 3 or 4 seconds, and our receivers have time to cross and cross the field and that kind of stuff, we're pretty good.
So opening day starters, you basically only got one left.
Yeah, a couple of them's hurt now.
That's insane.
I had a couple of them hurt, and a couple of them moved that were playing offense or playing just defense. A couple of them were playing both, and it's worked out real good for us because we don't have any offensive linemen that start on defense. Well, Bronner starts part of the time. We sub him and out, but
gotcha.
Our 5 offensive linemen basically don't play much defense, and our 3 or 4, according to what defense we're in, defensive linemen don't play any offense. None of them play any offense.
That's wild. That's
good. It's good for us.
Yeah, it's good for you in the future.
Our numbers are bad. We don't have very many numbers, but everybody plays.
Yeah.
Everybody except some of the really, really young ones that just dress just for
they got a jersey
in the fourth quarter. But if you're a 9th, the 10th, 11th, or 12th grader, you're in the game.
Yeah. I'm gonna say if you got a jersey on, you're going out there.
You're in the game.
That's awesome, man. It's good for the future too, as well. But
makes practice good too. Everybody they know they're going to play and practice is competitive.
That's right.
Because we got the offensive lineman and the starting defensive line over there, and we don't let them go just wide open, but they push each other around a little bit, and it's good for practice to be able to push back at each other.
No doubt. Anytime competition is always good when you're talking about any kind of sporting event, obviously in football. But let's talk about these playoffs coming up. I know this is what you play for. You play 10 games for a chance at 11th, play 11th for a chance at the 12th. But Colbert County is who you guys are going to be traveling to. Talk about them, what you've seen from them on film.
They look good. They got great athletes, and they run a big, strong line, fast backs. Don't throw around a lot, but they don't have to, and the coach does a good job. They've got a really good team. We got our work cut out for us.
Yeah.
It's a hard place to play. We've been over there before, and the atmosphere over there will be pretty rough. And but we're not going to worry about that. And it's supposed to be raining. We're not going to worry about that. If it's rough for us, it'll be rough for them. If it's raining on us, it'll be raining on them. Right. So we're going to go over there and play one step at a time and see how it comes out.
What was has there been any talk of them trying to maybe move it to the day?
They 100% were not going to move it. I called him before anybody in the state changed it. When I saw that, I called him Monday night when I saw what the weather was forecasting up there, or I texted him, and he didn't respond, and I texted him again, he didn't respond, and then so I called him. He didn't answer but those 2 times. Then I texted him and told him what I wanted, and he texted me right back. He said, "You can forget that. I want it to rain."
He wants it to rain. Well,
so and I hadn't talked to him again since then. So they don't throw it. They don't throw it, and we do.
I got you.
And he thinks that'll make a difference, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. But
You know,
they don't handle the ball great sometimes. They got really good athletes, but they don't handle the ball real great sometimes. So it could backfire on him. And I think we'll play just as good in the rain as we do in the dry. We're not going to worry about it. We had a 5-gallon bucket out at practice this week, and we've been ducking the ball. We've been throwing and catching wet balls and snapping wet balls. So, and it may not rain. They
said it has changed.
It's backed off a little bit.
Yeah.
Most of the bad stuff, they were talking about really bad storms, but they moved most of that up into Tennessee. And we might get the lower end of it, a little rain, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to see what we can do.
I remember a night in 2019.
I do too. Cedar Bluff wouldn't change. Cedar Bluff wouldn't change. It was a hurricane came through. Of course, it wasn't a hurricane when it got here, but it was a hurricane when it came in on the Gulf. And he said, no, we got a better chance. I told him, I said, no, you don't. Because I had those big guys. We had Caleb and that big offensive line, and we were throwing it around some. And it was raining bad. I mean, you couldn't hardly see the other side of the field. And the lights went off, and when they come back on, just one side came on, and we didn't throw it hardly any, and we beat them 60-0. I told him too. I said, you want us to throw it some? You don't want us to line up and run it every play?
That's right.
I told him on Monday or Tuesday before we played. It was pretty bad. Of course, they messed up. It bit them. They fumbled.
That's right.
And that kind of stuff. And it's like it happens one team, and we didn't.
Yeah.
It got away from them.
I was on the sidelines that night, and I got to watch that firsthand. And I remember your guys took that personal.
Oh, we were pumped. We were pumped, and
we had to calm T-Fur down.
Had a good time. We had a bunch of tents over on the sideline.
I remember.
And then
in the stands. They were in the stands.
We had probably 20 or 30 tents. We had 10 times more fans than they had.
Oh, yeah.
We brought everybody. Their stands were just about full.
They were packed.
And everybody brought their tent and set it up there, and we had a party.
That was a great game.
We had a party that night, and I hope we do that. But it's a long way to Colbert County, and I said the atmosphere is rough. But if pouring down rain, that's going to hurt them because there goes their atmosphere advantage.
Yep, that's true.
Because they got people, they won't come.
That's right.
They got people that won't come.
People hit that NFHS nowadays.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a whole different world.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we're about to wrap it up, Coach. But before we wrap it up, what's your just final thoughts on everything?
We're good. We're glad to be where we're at. We wound up 8-2 in both of those games. Tied at halftime with Fife and down 14-12, and we gave to Geraldine, and we had given them both of their touchdowns in the first half. So a couple of halves away from being undefeated, and if we'd beat Geraldine, we'd been first and played at home against Rogers. So we're close, but we're all where we are, and that's okay. And we're just gonna go get it and see what happens.
Well, Coach, looking forward to seeing you next week. That's what we're hoping for around here in Collinsville, Alabama. So we do this show again next week. I appreciate you sitting in with us, brother.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.